So this is my meditation journal video, kind of summing up my few weeks of meditation and my thoughts and what I learned. So I guess I'll begin by going through each of the different meditations and kind of talking about what each of them taught me and how I felt. So for the first week, yogic meditation, as this was my first week, it was all a bit new to me doing weekly meditations. I had gone with my mom to a couple meditation sessions before, but never had I done something by myself or on my own. So I think that this week was a lot about learning what worked and what didn't work for me and just getting more used to the idea of committing myself 15-20 minutes each day to doing meditation. So for the specific to the yogic meditation, certain activities such as palming the face were completely foreign to me, but I thought they were interesting and I was just kind of wide-eyed to it all. And some things I learned while doing the yogic meditation, something that I kind of had to deal with throughout it was my seating position. So I sat on the ground crisscross, and whatever position they had suggested I do while sitting crisscross. But I always felt that I was twitching and not very comfortable and trying to find a proper position for my back, kind of like how I'm sitting now. So I think it took me a while to kind of figure out what felt more of a natural fit. And that's something that I still had to face in the following weeks. So breathing control was another big part of the yogic meditation. And it was something that I tried to focus on and improve on each week because, again, it was something that I had a little bit of exposure to, but not that much. And it became more natural for me by the end, especially during this first week of yogic meditation. I felt that my brain was easily distracted and my thoughts were easily led astray. So I felt that it was, ironically enough, I had to concentrate more to think less. So I think the yogic meditation is something that that was more of a test run for me, and I think the certain specific elements, such as some of the stretching, I felt I wasn't necessarily able to focus on as much because I was just focusing on getting more familiar with meditation in general. But I still really enjoyed it. The second week, which is the Vipassana meditation, it was much more comfortable to me. I'd already done a week, so moving into the second week felt a lot better. Reviewing the slides and doing one of my outside readings on this meditation before I actually did it helped a lot, just to get a historical background and kind of understand what was to come and what was the purpose in doing what I was doing. So it was, and also with that, the jhanas, I believe is how you pronounce them, we had talked about that in class, so again, getting a better understanding was really helpful. So this was broken up into the two parts. So the Anapana was the beginning part, and I really did like this time dedicated to focusing on our breath. I felt that in the later meditation, which I'll get to, getting straight into it, I felt like my brain was too scattered and I needed that time to centralize myself and calm my thoughts. So I really liked that, and I made sure to do that every single day. And then again with this seating position, the energy shifting, focusing our energy on our left foot, our left leg, our right foot, right leg, sitting crisscross, kind of uncomfortable on the ground, meant that I wasn't able to feel the effects of this as well. So starting this week, I moved to sitting in a chair. I had experimented also with lying down on my bed, but I kept falling asleep. So that was no good. Didn't want to do that. So I felt that sitting in a chair was the best one for me. And the ideas of no self and impermanence were kind of foreign concepts to me, and I was slowly by the end kind of understanding how you were able to achieve or at least recognize those things while doing the meditation. But I still think some more work was needed to fully understand these concepts, or at least be able to apply these concepts in a meditation, but I definitely think I was getting there. So then we had a week off, and then the last meditation we did was the visualization meditation, and this was definitely my favorite, and I think that week off did help. I felt recharged for it and re-energized to do it. I really did like having two videos. I think both of the approaches, one being the lay person, which was a much more relaxed and carefree kind of thing. Not carefree, but it was more universal. And then having the slightly more intense, slightly more targeted Buddhist one, I think gave me two really good perspectives and allowed me better to understand what was occurring and what I was looking for. So for the layperson meditation, it was simple, concise, and easy to apply. And I think this was a really good starting point. Diving straight into the Buddhist one and having only that one may have been a little bit more difficult, so having that was really good. And then the Buddhist video was actually quite a bit different, I felt, to some of the other ones we'd done. It was much more fast-paced, and it felt like he was just speaking to us rather than this, I don't know, rather than this slowed down, more intense kind of speak. It felt much more informal, which I thought was interesting. It was a little bit harder to understand, but I also think that was a bit of the video quality. But I did like it. And then in terms of the actual visualization, I just genuinely found this to be the most effective meditation technique that I had come across. I was able to see the images, whether it be the white CD disc or the Buddha sitting on the lotus pillow, I think it was. I don't know, I just found this to be with the most ease, and again, the combination was something that I really enjoyed. And yeah, so overall, I think that this was a really good experience. I greatly enjoyed it, and I did, in some senses, like that I was forced, because I did commit myself to it, and I know if I didn't have that necessity to do it, I may have not done it as much. So I really enjoyed that. And being at home, caught up in your thoughts amidst the COVID-19, I think it was a really, really good way to kind of check in on myself and recenter myself, and acted as a bit of a distraction, I guess. So I think this mindful thought is something that's really important to us right now, and I think it's very timely that we did this, and it was well suited. And I think these 3 weeks really exposed me just a little bit to what else is out there in terms of meditation, and it's something that I definitely want to explore in the future.